When I say my wife, she left me.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Bryan, Lagrosta, and Shane. I'm no stranger to molting Smith, and it is not fucked up February just yet. We have one more week, and Scott the Hitman Huckenberg on the pod. Damien joining as well. My brother, the Eggman, you know him, and we are gearing up for a special roadside country Euro trash flick in Calvaire.
Yes, the perfect movie to get you ready for fucked up February.
It's actually how they describe it on IMDb.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. And so I was like looking, this is a French movie, I think, but it was filmed in Belgium.
Yeah. Typical French movie. It's weird. You'll have a lot of questions, some pig fucking.
It's got everything.
The usual.
Everything you need. Yeah.
Everything you need.
Calvaire is on Shudder, and the second it was added on Shudder, this was like an instant request from Shane, obviously making sure that Scott watched it.
Yes.
Because he watches all the weird stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm into.
On this show. So just like a quick thing, with this movie, me and my brother watched it with my parents. And they thought it was the worst thing ever. And I watched it and I'm like, kind of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yes.
me and Dave were like, it's not actually bad.
Yeah, I don't think I hated it. I'm pretty sure I...
No, because it's not a bad movie at all. It's an odd movie. And I don't know why, but movies like this make me, again, Shane, you're going to disagree and that's fine, but backwoods Europe is scary.
I'm not going to disagree. It's terrifying.
It's scary, dude. This scared me. Like I feel like all of these movies in Europe, if you're traveling down south, you never go down south in Europe.
No.
In these villages, you don't know what you're going to get in contact with.
There's nothing scarier than a European village.
Yes, so true. My God, that is so true.
It's just like, you don't know if you're going to be, taken hostage and turned into a woman, or just, get strung up in a hotel by Nazis. Like,
Is this repeating? Or
No.
okay, he goes through the pictures multiple times?
yeah.
He has to see them multiple
Oh,
times.
he takes them this time. Okay.
He's seeing women, they're naked, he's getting excited.
as always, we're watching the movie. So if we just randomly start talking about scenes, it's because we're watching the movie as we talk.
I did that immediately. I'm sorry.
We're blathering on. Calvaire, I think it translates to the ordeal. This
Yes.
is a whole ordeal.
Yes. What an ordeal.
That's what it means.
This
in
whole time,
English?
I didn't
Ordeal.
even think to try to translate it. I was just like, it's Calvaire. That's it.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Until I had looked that up, I always thought the name of the town was Calvaire.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually fair.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know the town.
No, I don't think they ever give
You
it.
just see a sign for the Barthel Inn, which just looks like the ruins of an old castle.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't look glamorous at all.
No.
He hasn't had anybody there for a while, which he does mention. So I'm assuming the last guest he has is probably Gloria.
Yes. Which Gloria,
It must
as we all know, was his wife who left him.
Yeah. As we all know.
Nothing, like, you only pick up things during conversations, which I do like that about this movie. You do got to have some level of deduction to figure out what's going on. But it doesn't really, it takes a little time to develop and pick up. But man, you don't want to go down to the village.
No. Only bad things happen, except once the piano hits. Then it's a banger.
And it is an absolute banger. I think we need to get into the spooky pit.
You know what? You're right. So you guys ready? Because we're going to jump into the spooky pit.
Calvaire, released in 2004. Pigs are hotter than women south of France. This film is directed by Fabrice Duweltz, stars Laurent Lucas as Marc Stevens, Jackie Beroyer as Bartel, Jean-Luc Couchard as Boris, and Philip Nahon as Robert Oren. Remember that name, Philip Nahon? We've reviewed a movie with him before.
French movie?
Yeah. He was the killer.
And High Tension.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
He's also must be a really popular French actor.
Yeah.
'Cause he's in a lot of those movies.
He's
Yeah.
really menacing in High Tension.
I think he's also in some of the movies by the director of Climax. I think he's in one of his first movies. I forgot what the name of the movie is. I could look it up.
Interesting. High Tension was one of the first movies we reviewed, right? It was early on.
Yeah, it was episode 6. He plays the killer.
Yeah. Good movie.
Gaspar Noé is the director.
Yes. Enter the Void he did as well.
So I think he's in the movie called I Stand Alone, which I still have not watched, but apparently it's like a really disturbing movie that came out in 98.
We'll review that soon.
Les Boucher.
Yeah, we'll review that soon because that means we'll do it on episode 250 or something. I think we've almost touched every movie, by the way, that we said we were going to review on episode 2.
Potentially. Yeah. we set it up for a lot, and yeah.
Yeah.
We hit VHS, which took what, like 180 something episodes?
I mean, literally the first episode, we're like, pretty soon we're going to do Drag Me to Hell, and then we did episode 150.
Yeah.
So we take some time sometimes. All right, but let's talk Calvaire. We're talking Marc Stevens. We're talking singing at a retirement home.
Yeah, so this is this guy's job. He's a traveling old retirement home cabaret singer who kind of comes out and looks like a magician.
I thought he was a magician at first.
Yeah.
The performance was very odd. I was confused. The audience absolutely loves him, but at the same time does not react to anything. Like, am I clear to say that? They don't not. Maybe they're mesmerized by his performance. Like, maybe it's just too good.
Is that what you were thinking, Scott? The performance was too good?
Sure. Yeah, there's a retirement home after all, so they don't have everything. They don't have the juices flowing as much.
They were
reactions.
starstruck.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I agree with Dame. They were starstruck of Marc Stevens.
As performers
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
As performers do, they go into the crowd. He goes into the crowd, sees this like old woman who kind of looks like Miss Baba Ganoush and
Yes.
Hell a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So he like sings to her, and she does not make like any reaction to this, but apparently she was so awestruck by this and wet, like she was
wet.
dripping, right?
Yeah.
At least as much as she could be.
That after the show, when his shirt was off in his, I guess, dressing room, and apparently he leaves the door open. I mean, he's like more of like probably like a local guy.
Yeah.
Marc Stevens, but everybody knows him in the retirement circuit. She comes in, she has a seat, and she is just lauding his performance so much so because he's going to be leaving, and she wants him to come back as soon as possible. To come back so much that she's going to take his hand and put it right in her snatch.
Yeah. And he's taken aback by this, pulls his hand away, and she's quite upset. She's like, I'm a whore. What am I doing?
She like beats herself up on the way out.
Like
She's
very,
"I'm
a
such
very like religious reaction. I feel like.
I'm this old slut bag.
Bad reaction there. Do you think she was thinking, though, if he just had a Skrillex haircut, he would look much hotter? That's pretty much what he's going to get later on in this movie.
It's about to do some wonders.
Yeah, he's gonna get something.
Okay, so now he's back on the road because he's a traveling magician / singer.
Yeah.
So where do they ever say where he's headed?
He's headed south of France for another gig. It's like a Christmas gala he's going to.
You never go south of France, like you said.
You don't travel down the woods because you're driving a van. But the thing is, like, the van's gonna break down.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. And the thing is, when your van breaks down, you don't expect a weird, creepy guy with a weird dog fetish to come up into your window.
Isn't there another French movie where a van breaks down in the middle of the road and then a bunch of weird things happen? Did that happen in Them?
Them, which is definitely should be reviewed on this podcast as well.
Yeah.
Because it was a true story.
Really?
Them was a true story. I'm not sure if the whole thing was true, but the whole plot.
Really good movie.
Without getting into the ending.
I'll mark that in our watch list.
Okay. Is that French too?
I think it is.
I enjoyed that movie.
Really good movie.
It was like really interesting.
So we're just throwing movie suggestions out to you too. So Them, you got to watch that. High Tension, if you haven't seen it, watch that.
High Tension is one of the more popular ones. The only other French movie that I think that was like high radar that we've never done is Frontiers.
Martyrs.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's the biggest one. Kind of a travesty. That's got to be a fucked up February.
100%. It's actually crazy that we haven't done it, and spoiler, we're still not doing it this fucked up February.
No, it is a travesty.
Make the cut.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We actually considered it, but fucked up February is gonna have to get cut to only 3 this year because of a little special at the end of the month.
Yeah, we celebrate on this show, so
We do.
it'll be
We
fun.
do. All right, so let's talk about vans breaking down and Boris.
Boris is gonna pop out the window. Boris is very odd. He's looking for his dog Bella, and they're gonna make an agreement to leave to find help for him to get his van back on the road or a place to stay. But at the same time, he's got to agree to Boris's terms and conditions. And what are his terms and conditions?
He has to be quiet so he can find Bella.
He has to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Thing is, he's not going to shut the fuck up because Boris is leading him to a direction he doesn't really know where he's going, keeps asking questions, and he's like, can you please shut up? I need to find Bella. And then eventually they're going to walk. I don't know how many miles, but they're going to walk. You're going to see a sign for the Bartell Inn. They're going to go, and he's like, he goes, like I said, this old broken down, what looks like the ruins of what could have been, like, I guess an inn, but a castle. It looked kind of like
it does. It has castle vibes to it.
He's going to yell, Bartell, I brought you somebody, which is just the weirdest way to get introduced to someone.
In like the middle of the night.
Middle of the night, what looked like a ruin and, area where you cannot expect anybody to traverse. I probably wouldn't stay there, even in the rainy conditions they were walking in.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Just slept in the van.
Yeah, slept in the van.
So are you two going to would you stay in the hotel?
No.
Okay.
It's tough because, like, the right answer is no. But you're put in this situation. You're in the middle of nowhere. You don't know how far you are from anywhere.
But when you see Bartell, is it? You don't trust him right away.
You might like.
He doesn't have a trustworthy face.
He doesn't. He's a man of few words to start, and then he kind of doesn't stop talking.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have a trustworthy face at all. Makes it very clear. It's like, we haven't had people here ever, but we have clean beds.
Yeah. And he says he'll get the mechanic in the next day to get the van fixed up. And he's like, you'll be fine. You'll be safe here.
Am I to believe that this place you can operate without like a job? Because I think he's truly living off the land and they're just letting him do that.
Yes. Yeah. I actually don't think anyone in the town works, right?
The only worker I saw was the bartender.
Yeah. He believes that they just fix cars for free, like in Sex Drive.
Yes. Yeah, literally, yes.
Tells me this man doesn't know how to fix a car.
Is it because later on in the movie when he looks into his van, the battery's just missing and nothing has been done?
Look, Marc Stevens is a performer. Bartell is a performer. Performers don't know shit about cars.
It's true. And I'm a car guy, so I know a thing or two about cars.
That is super true that Shane is a car guy.
See?
You're a car guy, Shane?
Yeah.
Like they need batteries?
Yep, they definitely need batteries. They need gas, sometimes oil.
Sometimes. Only sometimes.
Well, no, you only need oil every like 3 to 4 months.
Therefore, you would need oil in the car all the time.
Well, no, I'm saying like a replenishment of oil, right?
You sometimes need to replenish. Got it.
That you're just talking semantics now.
Yeah, no, I misunderstood. I apologize.
Yeah. Car guy, that should be my new nickname for Fucked Up February. Shane, the car guy Smith.
All right, but let's get back to,
Calvaire.
Suggesting nicknames to
the
Bryan?
ultimate car guy.
Yes. So
take a look.
But like Brian said, also he's the ultimate comedian. He actually has an award for comedy. He's the Pete Davidson of France.
You pick Pete Davidson?
His Sad Clown Award. You saw that?
Yeah. Why are you upset I picked Pete Davidson?
No, I love him, but like, what award did he win? Sorry.
Did Pete Davidson win an award? I don't know. He was in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That's an award enough.
It's good enough for us.
But like, I guess my point was, of all comedians, he picked Pete Davidson.
Well, they're both unfunny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
I
like Pete a lot.
What about
Fuck you?
What about Bartell's slamming joke? So Pete Davidson?
I did.
And you enjoyed it?
I did. I think he just released a special of like the same material that we saw live.
Got it. And you're gonna watch that?
Yeah.
Next, you're going to tell me you're going to watch The King of Staten Island.
I have seen that already.
Hey, you're a fan. You are a.
Well, that's because Aunt May's in it.
Marisa Tomei?
Yeah.
You're a fan.
Yeah.
I respect that.
SNL is what got me into him. Like his skits are just fucking. I think they're great because he's such an idiot.
It's interesting how it got you into them and didn't get you out of them.
I stand by, though. I loved Pete Davidson, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. He was great in that movie.
Great. Look.
I'm a sucker for like dumb humor. So
That's fair.
that's what he does.
That's fair. Look, it is what it is. We all have our sense of humor, good, terrible. I mean, it works.
Whoa.
You know who has a great sense of humor and loves enthusiasm?
Bartell.
Yeah, so he's going to tell the slamming joke. And I love it because he tells it twice. He tells it a couple times. If it didn't land the first time, he goes, that's funny, right? And he asks for the reassurance that his joke was funny. God, he's fallen on hard times.
He has. Is this also where he
wife.
talks about his wife? Yeah.
He mentions his wife, Glory, because he always says, like, I want you to stay. I want you to have breakfast. He's trying to mingle. He's trying to build rapport here with old Marc Stevens. And he talks about his wife, Gloria. He said that she left.
She had the greatest smile or something like that. Like, I don't know.
And that she was also a singer, much like Marc Stevens. So why he takes to him so quickly. Yeah. Thing is, he's going to take a look at his car, but the car is really, it's not going anywhere. Marc Stevens, he wants to leave, but he also wants to amuse this person. He doesn't have to go anywhere, I think, for the next 2 days.
No.
He has a Christmas gala, I think, on Christmas.
Yeah, so he has time to, get the car up and running. So dinner's going to be long. It's like literally half the movie.
Yeah, that was just on, right?
Yeah. The next day, so he's eventually going to venture out, even though Bartel told him not to go into town. And when he's in the woods, he's going to see something a little weird. Not weird in the south of France, but weird.
Bartel, like, he tells him not to go. Right away, Bartel's a little off. Like, he's very clearly off. And he basically tells him, like, don't go to the woods because the people in the village are different. They're not like us, but he doesn't specifically say why. You could just tell he's got a lot of concern. He's like, all right, fine, dude, I won't go to the village. But to your point now, when he does go to the village, he's going to see some shit.
Yeah, there's just like this initiation almost, right? Would you call it?
Is that what they were doing?
Because it's a father and a son.
And they're making the son, right? Fuck the pig.
Yeah.
There's a young boy fucking a pig.
I didn't catch that. It was a young boy. I thought it was just like another random guy. I thought this was just their like lunchtime thing, every day.
Yeah. It's break. Let's fuck the pigs.
And the interesting thing is Marc Stevens watches this whole thing and then goes back to Bartel's, doesn't mention it.
No.
Because he doesn't want him to know, because he's like, oh, you went down to the village. And he goes, I didn't.
No. But he did. While this was going on, though, Bartel goes into his van and he's looking through some photographs.
Prior to him coming back.
And he sees the nude woman taking the same photo like 14 times.
Yeah. And he also pockets his phone.
Yeah.
And the photos.
And the photos.
Well, he needs the photos. So,
because then when Marc Stevens comes back, he goes in his van and he notices they're missing, right? So then he goes and he's looking around, and that's when he finds like the phone and the photos in Bartel's room.
He finds it a little later on, I think. Okay. He finds it like in because what happens is they have another a night where he tells him to stay. He's gonna cook.
That's right.
And then that's the night where he basically forces him to sing for him.
That's right.
Very uncomfortable scene. Oh. But he like compels him to sing because he's like doesn't want to. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't have the music for it. He's like, you're putting me on the spot. So they do this thing where like you tell me a joke, I'll sing a little bit. But now he's like, no, you need to sing me your whole song. He's like, I didn't tell you half of my joke. I need to hear your full song, a symphony.
Yeah. I mean, Bartel's got a point.
A little 100.
No half measures.
It's true. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. So he's gonna sing the song. He gets into it, and then the interesting part is, he brings him into his bed. He has clean clothes, everything. The interesting thing is the next day, Bartel is nowhere to be found.
No,
and this is where
he goes and he first notices the battery's missing, right, in the truck.
The back door was locked or something.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't get in the back.
So then he goes into Bartel's office, and that's when he finds the phone, and I think he finds the pictures. Does he even find the battery in there, or
not yet? I don't think he sees the battery until he gets fucking cracked on the head.
You're right. Bartel just comes back with the battery, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, he finds the photos. He finds the phone. He's talking to Bartel about it. He basically says he wants the mechanic to like come like ASAP.
He's like, I need to get out of here. Like, we need to go.
So after they have this argument, though, doesn't he go outside to Bartel like pouring gasoline on the van?
He goes back in the house, and all of a sudden, like, he just hears noise, and he's smashing the whole car
with the axe and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. And he's crushing the windows, the headlights, everything, and then he's just dumping gasoline on it. And then he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I don't want to hurt you." He's like, "What are you doing? You're breaking my car." And then this is where he sees the battery. He takes the battery and cracks him over the head with it, knocks him out, lights the car on fire, and it explodes.
Whew.
Sorry,
okay.
I ran through that, but that's literally...
No. It happens fast. This is when the movie takes that turn into, well, now this man is a prisoner for the rest of the movie, and let's crucify him.
Yes. So let's begin the crucifixion process by crucifying him.
Yes. Like literally. Wait, he doesn't do that right away, right? He tries to escape first at some point. Then he crucifies
Well,
him.
he doesn't want him to escape too. He pulls him on that like little forklift that lifts him up and down.
Oh my God.
He
Shaves. Yeah, we got to talk about the head shaving scene.
Oh, God.
Because that looked painful. He was like shearing him like he was a sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An interesting thing to mention too is like when he was gone, he couldn't find him. He went into the room and when he opened the closet, he sees like all these dresses.
Yes.
So eventually he's going to, like I said, you said he's going to crucify him afterwards. During that process, he's going to shave his head. This is a half measure.
Yeah.
Like, he definitely doesn't.
That's what I said. He gives him the Skrillex, so the half head shaved. He's looking like Natalie Dormer in the Hunger Games out here.
Yeah. It's rough.
It's
Rough go. Nothing is going to be good for this guy until the end of the movie because this is going to be a rough set.
I don't think anything's ever good for him again.
Probably not. I mean, like, you're kind of scarred at this point. He does kind of get raped at one point in this movie, I think.
Yeah, it's
Or at least he's
rape.
about
No, it's at least a good 15 seconds of rape.
Yeah, it's close. Jesus. So, but yeah. So, yeah, he's running him through. And so now the idea is that it's very clear that he thinks he's Gloria. He even says it. He may call him Gloria.
Yeah.
He thinks it's the lady that left him. Apparently, his quote-unquote wife.
Well, he forces Marc Stevens as Gloria to sleep with him. They like lay in bed and spoon the first night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's putting him in dresses and stuff.
Yep. Very unsettling.
That's what I'm saying. Like, his wife, like, he shaves this person's head. So, was Gloria a cancer patient? Was she bald or had, what's that disease where you can't grow hair?
Alopecia.
Maybe he was like gonna give him a wig or something.
I actually just like
Maybe.
to Brian's point. I don't know if you said it on air yet, but like the town and him are so deprived of women.
Yes.
They just take the outsiders and make them women. I don't even think Gloria was ever a girl.
It may not have.
I think it was just the last person to go through this town that they turned into a.
Possible.
This is like true backwoods isolation where like I think they've dissociated what it was. So Gloria could, you never know. Gloria could have been a woman that just strode by town and was like raped by these guys and eventually escaped and left. Or it could have just been another man that they just associated as a woman. Or it could have been a fucking animal.
But I was thinking to say it could be a pig.
But the reason why I think it was a human, though, is because I do believe this person was a singer and a performer.
Yeah.
And I want to think that it was a woman, but you really don't know. It could have been another man that they associated as a woman. But he's full blown as it's interesting. These movies are interesting because he has to at some point know that it's also not Gloria because he always tells her, "You better not escape. You better not do it again." So he knows that it's probably not Gloria, but at the same time, also that it's Gloria.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's,
Yeah,
it's an element of like, unless he full blown believes that it's Gloria and thinks that she just came back and is always escaping. Because I do want to get to the village point because there's interesting comments made later about like Gloria, like why'd you come back?
Well, we could talk about the village now, honestly. We could jump right into it. So Bartel's going to go to the bar in the village, right?
This does not look like a bar either.
No, it's... I don't know what else to call it, though.
It's a bar.
It's like a VFW kind of look.
Hall, yeah.
Like, or just like a barn. Like it's just an open barn, isn't it? Like it's just a floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm
With a
Couple tables.
like an organ, couple tables, and guys that are just like looking, and they all stare at Bartel, and Bartel just like orders a beer, and then another guy goes to the bar, gets served before him. So clearly, there's bad blood between him and literally the village. Very obvious.
No one likes him.
But he definitely does need a beer.
Yeah. He also walked in with a shotgun.
He needs to protect himself.
He then threatens everyone in that room, saying, if you come near my hotel and my wife, I'm going to start blasting.
Mistake number one. Why the fuck would you even mention the wife?
No, because no one knew anything.
It's a horrible mistake on his part.
The guys they're looking for chicks.
yeah.
Yeah, but like they just didn't know he had one.
Yeah.
But they know who Gloria is.
They do, but
Yeah,
like
so-
no one knew that Gloria returned because the leader of the barn people is also in love with Gloria.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So strange.
And
It's
now
all so
this
strange.
definitely comes back to why, like, he never wanted him going to the village to lose him. Yeah. To this guy or the other village people. But what we're going to come up to is potentially one of the greatest scenes in cinema, bar none.
Yeah.
Is that the remote? You want me to fast forward to get to that?
Yeah, like I just like it is such a odd scene that it's gonna take all four of us to fully describe what happened.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Where there's a man who gets up and sits. Is it a piano or an organ? I think it's a piano.
I don't know the difference.
And he's just violently. He first starts it, but it's like dun dun.
Yeah.
And then he just gets violently dun 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 dun.
The whole setting is great because everybody's quiet and he's like just taking a hit of the cigarette and just gets into position and he's lurching over.
Slamming on that piano.
Oh
He's got fucking dead taxidermed. Is that a word? Taxidermed animals that are on the mantle above it.
It's like a rabbit too. It's
So
not even like
the big guy that's swaying right now, this guy was
Hodor.
technically swaying during the pig fucking. scene.
He was.
Remember?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So and now and then now everyone's getting in position here.
And they like get really close and like stare into each other's eyes, but just like waddle like penguins.
They waddle
like their
back and
happy
forth.
feet. Like
Yeah, you're right. It's just
They
like
are definitely not happy.
And then the tempo gets picked up, and they all get faster, and they all get up and dance, all except for Gloria, who probably isn't because of the conversation he just had. Like, I have a feeling the only reason why he didn't get up and dance is because he's probably thinking about what Bartel just came in, and he's probably like, maybe Gloria's back.
yeah, I think he's like devising a plan of what to do. But just watching this,
Yeah, it's
it's a cinematic masterpiece.
This is a great scene. There's just no doubt about it. Also, there is one of these villagers also, I just look in the cast, is the guy that was involved in the rape scene in Irreversible. One of these guys, yeah.
No way.
Yes.
That's a movie we got to review.
Yeah, that's another fucked up movie. This scene is it's truly marvelous. See, but like he's like at this point, I wasn't realizing why he's not getting up and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking pondering. Now, let's get back to the house.
Okay, so we get back. Gloria, aka Marc Stevens, is having dinner with Bartel when Boris is going to run in. I found Bella, and it's the cow.
It's a fucking cow. So right now, okay, so like this man really wasn't looking for a dog. Maybe they're disassociating dog for females. Maybe he doesn't even know what anything is.
That's what I assume.
Yeah.
Like maybe he thinks a dog is a woman or whatever, but like apparently this is a cow that he's like in love with. He found her and it's definitely not a dog. So obviously if you didn't know he's fucked up,
But he's like in love with this thing like it's a person, right?
Yes,
Correct.
that's how I took it as.
these men are lonely. They clearly have some kind of dissociative issues.
So
Also,
Yeah.
to mention in this, the dinner scene that's happening at this point of the conversation of our explanation, all that. Marc Stevens is very bloody. Like his whole fucking body is covered in blood.
well, yeah, he was
And he's
literally
gotten-
crucified.
And he's been Skrillexed.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like a normal haircut where you go in, the haircut guy's like, oh, you want a 1, a 2, and he just buzzes it off. Literally, this man took shears and was shearing his head. That can't be fun.
No.
It's actually a gross scene of him eating I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we can all confirm that Bartel's soup is just top caliber soup.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the bloody soup eating scene is just not easy on the eyes. It's
This is
kinda-
where he sings, isn't it?
No, he's saying.
He sang
He sang already.
Okay.
This is where Boris comes in and sits down with his beautiful cow and then literally just gets shot in the head.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
He is actually going to sing, though, again. Because the other guy's going to make him sing.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah.
He is going to sing again.
Okay.
So, yes.
I thought I remembered him singing.
Yes.
all
So,
bloody
you're
and
right.
shit.
Boris is going to get shot through the head. And
Like
then,
fucking sniped.
yes. And the townspeople are just unloading on this house. They also have their trusty hunting pig who is just squealing at everything.
So I do have a question though. Like I think this is the only goof of this movie is why would they light up the house knowing Gloria is in the house?
They might want to just kill Gloria at this point. She's a whore
I actually
or a
think they're just
slutbag.
stupid.
They are.
They are
definitely
definitely.
fucking dumb. There's no doubt about it.
It's like one of those things. It's like a cheap plot device, but it does work. They're just fucking stupid. Like, and you can technically make them do anything with the justification of they're stupid.
Yeah.
Like, they don't think things through.
Did you
You're not
take a
wrong.
look around this guy's fucking house? He's got these weird, creepy old men photos. And I
Yeah.
don't know why.
I think that's the women.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it just is men that they're disassociating as women.
So like this village can't last very long if it's just no women. Like this has to be.
I think that's why there's no one under the age of like 35
yeah, like
in the
this,
village.
This is it.
Well, they're all those people are after Gloria, man.
Yeah.
That's what they're after.
Like
This is-
Gloria's a female name. Like they've had to come into a female at one point.
Agreed.
And maybe they went through a long line
Well,
of.
you also got to think they were all birthed at one point.
Right.
So they had to have had like a mom or something.
Yeah, someone fucked up in the last like 30 to 40 years and created this horrible village. And all the women either left or were killed. And now I wonder if these people like think, how come there are no babies when they're raping these pigs and village and random Marc Stevens and such.
Poor Marc Stevens.
Yeah.
Let's talk Marc Stevens rape.
Oh my God, it's coming up in a second. But like I was also thinking, like how much farther could he have traveled? Like how much more farther south does he get to this?
I don't know. I feel like this is as far south as one can go.
He must have been driving fucking far. Look at that Christmas tree. It's also just a pathetic Christmas tree,
Yeah, it's really not that.
I'm
much.
shocked they have electricity.
right?
Oh yeah, I guess he's got
This
lamps
scene
and
is
stuff.
interesting.
Could have a generator, maybe.
The scene is interesting because they're like laughing, drinking wine, and enjoying themselves up until the point where he gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mark's just sitting there crying to himself, sobbing.
they are all in there now. The
Yes.
whole village is in the Bartel's house.
They shoot Bartel in the head, right? When they get him?
I think the guy,
The leader, right?
he does shoot Bartel in the head, but he makes I forgot his name. I think it's pull it up real quick.
One of the
Leader,
villagers?
the leader guy, yeah. His name is just Robert. He forces him to sing. He puts a gun up to his cheek, makes him sing.
He presses that shotgun very hard on his face. Like, that looked very unpleasant to film.
Definitely, I mean, he's not really in a state to perform, but I don't know if it did anything for him.
It did something for him because they instantly, after he sings, throw him over a desk and rape him.
One guy does absolutely rape him, which
It's a cool shot, if I could actually say that.
Boris
movie
got
has a-
shot first.
yeah.
Okay.
This movie's got a lot of clever shots. It is shot well. Again,
Yeah.
I do think this movie was made very well.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's the one knock of it is it's maybe a little boring at times, but overall, it's a very interesting movie that, like you said, is shot well. There's also a lot of like scenery shots that are very nice and really give you almost make it like, wow, this is a beautiful place if it wasn't for the inbred hillbillies
Yeah.
murdering everyone.
And Mark Stevens even said, he's like, this region's so beautiful.
He
I mean,
does.
it
I
is
was gonna say
it
that,
is like this rural country area.
Yeah.
But man, it's just like an underpopulated area of just very women deprived, honestly, losers.
Yeah.
They're like literally they're losers.
Tell us
So
how you really feel about these people, Brian.
he's not wrong.
At the same point, I fucking love them because they put together one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history, as we described.
So I forgot though. Now someone actually has to explain this to me because I don't remember. How does Mark Stevens escape this part? Because he does escape and get out of the house.
Doesn't he grab a gun? Doesn't he shoot them? Or
They
something?
actually just start shooting each other. I think it's because of the jealousy of Gloria.
You're right.
They
The
literally-
other one wants a turn with Mark Stevens.
They actually start shooting each other,
And he
he
escapes.
just escapes.
You're right. The end of this movie now is a little different because Mark Stevens is going to be running through the woods again. They're trying to find him, but only Robert is going to find him.
Yeah.
But Robert is going to fall into the Sarlacc pit or whatever that was with the quicksand.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Was it water?
It's like a sinkhole, but like I can't think of what it's actually
Sure.
called. There's a name for it.
And he's stuck and he's going down.
Yeah.
He's going down. And this is probably the most interesting scene in the entire movie because he's basically just like confessing, like, why'd you leave Gloria? He's like, I loved you. Do you love me? I loved you. And I feel like Mark Stevens just like meets up with him and just like gets down and gives him that like little piece of sympathy he needed.
Yes.
Before he fully goes under.
Because Mark Stevens says, I loved you.
Yeah. He just had to placate him. He just couldn't let him go out like he needed it.
And from that moment. Like, so do you think? So the movie ends with Marc Stevens kneeing there in the snow with it. Do you think Marc Stevens dies or escapes? Because I honestly don't think he can get back home. Like, I actually think he probably freezes to death out in the snow.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Probably.
He's just running, and that's where it ends. And I think that's all we needed to see.
Yes, I didn't need more than that. I was just like, what do you like? One of those like, what do you actually think?
Interpretation, yeah.
Because I can't see him actually making it back.
If he does make it back, he's going to be heavily disturbed.
Oh yeah,
because he's been put through it.
Yeah,
I think that. Yeah, I just don't think he'll ever be the same, obviously. But man, this man is just getting raped by dudes, pretty much sexually assaulted by early in the movie by that old woman.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a rough sexual history.
I think the moral of this movie, and I could be wrong, is don't be a performer.
Yes, there you go. Don't be a performer. Don't do the little men on the table joke.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna.
Doesn't land.
No matter how many times you try to explain the joke.
It's never gonna land.
I guess do routine checks on your car battery.
Yes.
Yeah,
As someone whose car
Especially-
battery just went out 3 weeks ago, I can confirm. Gotta do routine checks.
Yeah, unless you have a warranty. That's a cool 100 right there.
Yeah, that cost me $160 to replace that
Dude,
battery.
Yeah,
you
everything-
know, my battery's like double that because it's one of those like weird, I guess like newer electronic based.
Oh, so it's gay.
Sure.
Dude, everything costs so much money now.
Yeah, I mean, even my battery, when I heard 160, I'm like, oh, fuck.
I'm shocked that was that much.
That's
My God.
fucking nuts, but I believe it. And did you get like one of those that are like weatherproofed or anything like
I
that?
just, my mechanic did it for me, and that's so he knows what he's doing. And he even charged me labor. He just fixed the battery. The battery just happened to cost $160.
Those like weatherproof batteries, they're even like
They're not all
substantially
weatherproof.
more. No, you have to pay for like a specific weatherproof batteries.
And I'm a car guy, so I would know.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, that's literally the ending of Calvaire, the ordeal, as they say. You know, we did high tension, that was high tension, or razor blade romance, like we mentioned.
Yeah, that's right. All these French movies have like a
Reviewed
alternate.
a him album. Isn't that the album by him?
It is. Oh no, Switchblade Romance. Switchblade
okay.
Romance. Razor
You
Blade
were
Romance is him. I also love him. So
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah. Wild fucking flick. Question for you though. Question for the group.
Oh boy.
Do you think this was just a collective woman and these two just fell really hard for her and both had her at the same time? Whoever this Gloria was.
So you think between not Boris, what's the other guy?
Bartel.
Bartel
And Robert.
and then the owner of the barn?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Robert?
Yeah.
I actually think Gloria is more of a not like one specific person. Like it's like almost an idea.
An idea. Okay. Yeah, well, you
Like
never
Gloria
really
is just
know.
the idea of a woman
Yeah.
to them, and it wasn't the same Gloria. I truly think like Gloria is just whatever traveling performer they capture that week is
Yeah.
Gloria.
Yeah, it is very interesting, but like I said, like I totally agree with you, and I think this is probably went on, but I think there had to be a point in time where like that name Gloria was established. I don't know what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know.
But, like, why do you determine the Gloria is the name of the person? You just can't get over it. I would have to assume there's people that have come by since,
Yeah.
or maybe that. Well, he said he hasn't had visitors since, but she's the only person that like clearly whoever this was made an impact on
All of their lives.
all of them, but especially these two.
And the pig. The hunting pig.
It's literally the hunting pig. All right, so you want to do some ratings here? I'll open us up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna say a strong 6 out of 10.
yeah.
Couldn't go higher, but I don't know. I did really enjoy this movie. I think it's like, see, it's not fucked up enough to be like a fucked up February, but the whole concept of this movie is really fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think the camera work is great in this movie. Even that shot, we actually didn't mention it specifically, but the shot when they're at the very end with the dinner table and the camera keeps spinning around, showing all their contrasting moods,
Yeah.
and then it like zooms into each of their eyes.
I slightly mentioned it.
Yeah, you did, right?
Yeah,
I think that shot is really, really good. And it's like all that stuff actually brings this movie together very well. So I think I was considering a 7. So if anyone gave it a 7, I completely could agree with that too. So yeah, I'm going to go strong 6.
Yeah, I'm also with you every step of the way. I have as a pretty solid 6. It is really entertaining for me. it is a little draggy to start, but I think that the dialogue is actually really important. And that's why it's a little slow, because you pick that up, and like as we're watching this right now, I'm even like picking up on things again.
Yeah.
I mean, they're setting stuff up pretty early on in his early conversations with Bartel that lead into the encounters with the villagers later. But yeah, man, it's just a good story of like complete and total isolation, disassociation, and obviously just not fucking.
That's the real
not fucking
problem.
babes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not getting it in, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
That
saying.
is the main problem.
Basically just not getting your shit wet. You feel me on that? Anybody feel me on that?
Yeah, we feel you.
On that, yeah.
That was so long. That was 2.5 seconds, and it should have been half that.
Look at definitely a 6 for me.
All right, either of you two could go.
Go ahead, Dame.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with the 6 rating. I mean, it definitely not like super fucked up movie. It definitely had some pretty interesting scenes, some like very memorable ones.
Some would say maybe
What?
arousing scenes, maybe.
I don't know about that, but pretty entertaining. A little boring at first, but generally, like it comes to a pretty interesting like head at the end. So pretty good. I would give it a 6 for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with the 6. I'm thinking more on like the limp side of a 6, not so much a strong 6.
Limp 6.
I think limp is a little rough, maybe somewhere in the middle.
I mean, I respect the adjective.
Yeah,
That's a new one.
but when I watched it the first time, I think I went in not knowing anything, like the usual. I just listen to you guys and watch. Enjoyed it. Very different from like anything. For the most part, I would say. And yeah, it was a fulfilling overall story that was, like you guys said, shot really well for like a very low budget film, which maybe not that low budget, but
Yeah, there's definitely some budget in this.
French budget.
yeah.
All right, so we're all on the 6. Scott's on the limp side. We're all a little hard. And
I'm always on the limp side. So.
For stuff, quarter. He's a quarter.
Is it quarter 6?
Half chub?
I was thinking more half. Yeah, maybe half chub.
Half chub 6.
Yeah.
I also just want to throw it out there. I did look it up. That where he dies at the end is called a wetland sinkhole.
Makes sense.
Is that the thing I've been like fucking fearing my entire life?
Yes, the wetland sinkhole. It does exist.
Like, you know how, like, I don't know, when we were all young, we thought
quicksand be a real issue.
Quicksand was like the worst, craziest thing you're ever going to experience,
Yeah.
and it's just not anywhere.
Yeah, this is real though. Wetland sinkhole.
Okay.
All right, so Necronomicon death. I think there's no besides like maybe Robert's his name, right? The guy who dies in the wetland sinkhole.
Maybe Boris because it's kind of sudden.
Sudden. That's what I was. That was gonna be who I was going with too.
Yeah.
Boris.
Mine because it was a really cool, like you said, a cinematic shot of like
Yeah.
the kind of like it spinning around to all of them, and then he just it's broken up by him getting shot in the head, and that's kind of when the movie just like
Yeah, it takes a
climaxes.
He was sacrificed for the betterment of the rest of that scene,
yes.
and it was worth it.
So I'll go with Boris.
Yeah,
Boris.
I like Boris as the choice.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Nice and swift.
Yeah, absolutely fucking sniped.
Okay, here we go. Boris, you were a man who just couldn't find your lost love, your Bella. You searched far, you searched wide, you searched through the forest, you searched through the van, and you couldn't find it. Until one night, you found a cow, who I'm assuming was Bella. And you were so happy, and you had a fantastic meal with the blood soup. But it was cut short because Bartel stole Gloria from Robert, and he was not going to stand for that. And you had to get shot in the head, and we all felt for you because you may have been the only other sympathetic character in the movie. So for that, we're going to throw you in the Necronomicon. R.I.P. Boris.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Good reviews for the next 3 weeks.
Do you think? Real quick note. Do you think Boris didn't actually have like maybe he did have a dog and then he just found the cow and was like, you know what, this is it. This is the new Bella.
Very possible. Anything's possible with Boris. I can't put it
Yeah,
past
he's a
him.
mystery for sure.
He is.
That just came across.
Well,
Thank you both
Good
for
work.
coming.
yes, appreciate
for
it.
having us.
Scott, thank you for being on the last 2 episodes. Appreciate that. Damien,
Of course.
we'll see you in 2 weeks
It's been a pleasure.
for the finale of Fucked Up February.
And we won't be wearing the same clothing. Believe it or not.
No, never. You never would. But before we get there, we have to open up Fucked Up February. And Brian, what are we opening up Fucked Up February with?
I'm going to put my head in my hands and say we are opening it up with a movie that's trying to depict definitely like a snuff type, low budget indie movie.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's August Underground.
Yeah, August Underground. Fred Vogel, not to be confused with Frank Vogel, coach of the Suns.
Former coach of the Lakers.
Yes. Yeah, so we're doing August Underground.
They are related though.
Yeah, I hope not. Yeah, this movie is going to be divisive because some people really like it out there.
How?
I don't know.
The turn out there was good enough.
And then some people are me and Brian,
Yeah.
who
You'll see.
you'll see.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's because of like how real I guess it
Yeah,
can feel.
I'll give it that. It feels real at times.
Like it like could feel real about like I guess roving murderous psychopaths.
Yeah.
That just take people back and kill them in their basement.
It's also like a mini Korn concert by a cover band, so that's cool.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, with
Find
that,
out next week.
yeah, with that said, we're the final podcast signing off, and we'll see you next week in the poop basement.
You know where to find us, www.thefinalpodcast.com. New episodes every Monday, and you're going to want to make sure to tune in every Monday for the next 3 weeks, especially because we're reviewing some of the most fucked up movies ever. Yep, that's right. We've been doing it every year, and we are no different this year.
No, it's a staple. We're doing it every year.
Friday for the low budget show. We will catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Basement festering.
Oh God, it's so much faster.